Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Safe Passage Project to save lives and protect St. James students. Deputy Superintendent of Police DSP St. James, Angela McIntosh Gale, says the government's $14 million Safe Passage Project will be instrumental in saving lives and protecting students as they travel on the streets to and from school. Speaking at the handover of the Salt Spring Safe Passage Project, Salt Spring Primary School St. James on January 27, DSP McIntosh Gale commented that the Jamaica Social Investment Fund JSIF, the lead agency in charge of the state-sponsored initiative, noting that the project could not have come at a more opportune time, especially with road casualties escalating out of control. The project, which falls under JSIF's Integrated Community Development Project 2, was implemented between May and November 2021 and will benefit 180 students at the Salt Spring Primary School and 30 students at the nearby Hartfield Basic School. It has already been implemented in 8 schools across Jamaica under the first phase of the Integrated Community Development Project, which was funded by the World Bank. 4 other communities are being targeted for the project under the current phase, including Anchovy St. James, Treadlight Clarendon, Greenwich Town Kingston, and Augustown in St. Andrew. The project contains several components, including the rehabilitation, construction of sidewalks, bus bays, guardrails, road signs, as well as comprehensive public education and road safety programs to include staff, students, and residents, DSP McIntosh Gale noted. The welfare of our children is pivotal to the development and growth of all communities. The outstanding services of the JSIF must be lauded as they have nailed it yet again. Our children are our future, and when they see that people do care, they will adopt a more caring attitude, she said. DSP McIntosh Gale argued that because of the Safe Passage Project, students at the Salt Spring Primary School will now be able to walk along the roadway to and from school in a much safer environment. With the police in the St. James Police Division, along with our law-abiding citizens, we'll continue to do our part to make our communities safe for our children, she added. For her part, Senior Project Officer at JSIF Chanel Nevers said the Safe Passage Project aims to provide a safe environment for students as they travel along specific streets, thoroughfares, and bus stops which are near to or on school campuses. It is a program that will have a positive impact on the Salt Spring community, Nevers emphasized. Retailer says chicken importation not right way to go. Businessman Ryan Lloyd, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Intown Supermarket in St. Elizabeth, says government's plan for a temporary suspension of the common external tariff and additional stamp duties on chicken leg quarters will have a negative impact, especially on small farmers. You have to take into consideration that it is these chicken farmers, and there are so many across the island, who supply the small restaurant owners, schools at all levels, and other micro and small enterprises. As far as I am concerned, any move to import something like chicken makes no sense as too many of our people will suffer, said Lloyd. Government's plan to remove duties on imported chicken meat, though temporary, has been criticized by the island's main chicken producers as well as the Jamaica Agriculture Society. Colonel Charles Jr., the Agriculture Minister, noted last Tuesday that the plan is to let consumers know government is monitoring the increases in the price of chicken meat. The measure is effectively intended to make the chicken meat more affordable until inflation and other factors pushing up prices are stabilized. The 2 main broilers company currently produce about 60% of total poultry and the remaining by small backyard farmers. In the meantime, Lloyd said, since the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, the company has lost 40% of its wholesale business. The company, which is this year celebrating its 25th anniversary, operates 4 supermarkets in Mandeville Junction, Black River, and Santa Cruz under the Intown Super Center and Intown Super Safe brands. Each supermarket has a cambio, deli, meat shop, wholesale, and bakery. Intown has tried its best at maintaining low prices despite the overall business taking a hit. The grocery bill is the only expense that can be filled with, said the deputy CEO. If you don't pay a utility bill, the service is cut off. If you need to take a taxi, you can't pay $200 if it is $600. But with groceries, if a customer normally buys 5 pounds of rice, now they are buying 2 or 3. Groceries directly feed this flexibility with the basket size. Lloyd is an adamant believer in buying local. He highlighted that there is a good reason for taking this position, as local agriculture is community and people driven. For example, the island's chicken industry is set to impact the livelihood of several thousand Jamaicans, and that includes the majority producers and the many independent farmers. Buying Jamaican food allows consumers to trust the source of what they eat. With local eyes overseeing every step of the agricultural process, there are fewer steps to find answers, especially regarding antibiotic use in the case of chicken, he stressed. Lloyd and his team has devised cost-saving promotions to keep the entity going, like the store's pandemic package, an assortment of pantry items for one low price. They reference the weekly minimum wage, which has remained the same despite inflation. I've always said that if you want to have a successful company, you have to have a marketing-led company. The Best Just Chicken is a marketing-led company, and we have collaborated with them on numerous amazing cost-saving promotions over the years, said Lloyd. For example, he praised the company's premium hot dog sausages and bread chicken tender that Intown not only sells retail but uses in its delis. Intown is focused on other innovations like offering the WhatsApp ordering and curbside delivery and payment. We know our customers are more stressed and time crunch, so we're doing everything to improve their shopping experience and make it easier. Though there are supply disruptions and high commodity prices, Lloyd remains resilient. What keeps me going is serving our customers. By focusing on price-centered promotion, we are keeping our core business afloat as our customers can spend less money and get more value. DPP not pleased with cop in video. She knows better, says Llewellyn. Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Paula Llewellyn, is not pleased with a policewoman who made a video calling on her to review a ruling that she should be charged. The policewoman, a detective sergeant in a social media post, made allegations against current and former senior members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. In one of the allegations, she claimed that the DPP ruled last year that she should be charged, but the police are saying the ruling was made last Thursday. She asked that Llewellyn look back on the file. I am calling on you, madam, to take a look at my file, either personally or in the event that you are too busy. Cause one of your competent deputies to pursue my file to see if there is justification for me to be charged, the cop said in the video. But Llewellyn said the policewoman was very inappropriate. She knows better. She has an attorney. The attorney is supposed to write to us. You know what kind of floodgates you can open? She must do it in the right and proper way, the DPP reported. If, for example, a police officer, an investigator, or the top brass don't agree with a ruling, and it has happened, they write to me and ask us to review it. Simple. Recalling the matter, Llewellyn said the woman lives with her boyfriend who was arrested and charged and placed before the court for possession and dealing in ganja. She said the police now wanted to know if the woman's sergeant should also be charged. She lives there with her boyfriend and must know what was going on, said Llewellyn, adding that the boyfriend claimed he had a license for the ganja but could not produce it. 2 suspects held, firearms seized in Bamboo double murder probe. Police have taken 2 suspects into custody and seized an illegal firearm in connection with last Thursday's gruesome double murder in Bamboo St. Anne. 3 men were shot, 2 fatally, when a gunman entered a bar in the normally quiet community and opened gunfire. One of the deceased was identified as 35-year-old carpenter Colonel Facey of Tatchfield District in Philadelphia, Brownstown in the parish. The other man is known only as Andre, otherwise called Bread, from Lilyfield in Bamboo. Commanding officer for St. Anne, Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell reported that swift investigation into the incident led to the capture of 2 men. A motive has not yet been established, but we have the two in custody pending interrogation, SSP Powell noted. The St. Anne's Bay Police had reported that shortly after 9 p.m., the men were among patrons at a bar when a gunman entered and opened gunfire before fleeing. Following the shooting, 3 men were found suffering from bullet wounds. They were rushed to hospital, where Facey and the man known as Andre were pronounced dead. The other man was admitted. Accused car thief hospitalized after being shot in Manchester. Police have confirmed that a man has been hospitalized after he was shot in Top Coffee Grove near Belfie in Manchester on Monday. Head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Lloyd Darby reported that investigators are in the community trying to ascertain details surrounding the shooting incident. Unconfirmed reports suggested that a man was shot after he allegedly attempted to steal a motor vehicle in the area. More technology for teachers. Coming from her junior role in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, later full control of energy, Favour Williams knew that to make her mark at the super importance ministry that handles education would take on extra special effort. And as Education, Youth and Information Minister from September 2020, disrupted briefly early this March for the information label to be transferred to the Office of the Prime Minister, Williams feared that limited technology could cause a kind of internal tsunami that would be hard to get over. So she got to work, pushing down into a process whereby there had to be upgrading, even wholesale change of internal systems that would lessen the headache for all concerned. Starting at the ministry in September 2020, with my knowledge coming from the Ministry of Finance, I knew that the financial side of the ministry was in need of work in terms of the system, she said to the ministry, which is headquartered in the heart of central Kingston. For me, always at the back of my mind is that this ministry cannot implode on me while I'm here, she admitted with a chuckle during a wide-range interview. So I made sure that I started the process. It's gonna take a lot. We've already started implementing here the government-wide HR human resource and pension system called My HR Plus to move the ministry from being as manual and paper-based as it is to have more technology within. It's for our teachers to be able to sign in onto the website. They have their own user ID and password. They can check for personal information. Verified, they can print out a payslip if they want, Williams said. Though the process has some way to go, the minister is happy that the implementation has begun, and already there are some functions that are available to teachers to make their jobs easier. For those teachers who are on the system now, they can download their payslip, she continued. Before that, they would have to call the regional office, or call the central ministry and wait. If it's urgent and they need it, they have to just jump on a bus or taxi and come to Kingston and try to get it, whereas now they can simply log on and print it off. When I talk about increasing efficiency at the ministry, these are the little things. We're talking about 25,000 teachers that may need access to their information at their fingertips. It makes a huge difference. The expectation is that all the records of the teachers will be digitalized, and so this issue of teachers getting into retirement and can't find the teacher's file because the teacher was at this school 5 years and then went to another school for 10 years, that should be a thing of the past. But again, of course, it's going to take time and effort to get all those files uploaded to the system. Additionally, we're consolidating the payroll for teachers right now. Some teachers get paid one way and some teachers get paid another way, but we're bringing all of that together, and that will help to solve a lot of issues. It's not just the education side that needs fixing. It's the administration of education too, stated Williams, the holder of a solid background in finance, having worked for years in New York's famous financial district in Lower Manhattan, named Wall Street. Williams too is encouraged by the recent revelation that teachers account for the public sector group of professionals with the highest take-up of the COVID-19 vaccine, surprisingly, surpassing even the medical sector. Up to midweek, 96% of educators in state institutions have received at least one dose, information from the Ministry of Health and Wellness revealed. We have been preaching the gospel of vaccinations. We've had many virtual sessions with our educators across the sector, and we've brought on those platform medical professionals. We said no question is a stupid question, and we just open up and allow people to ask the questions so they could feel more comfortable. Additionally, our schools have been vaccination centers as well, especially our high schools, as we are encouraging students to be vaccinated. The last I checked, I think we're about 35 or 36%, which we would have been up from December. So we're seeing improvement. We have to lead by example, Williams stated. And on more professional issues, the workload for ministers of education over the years have been to be more challenging than most. Yet for the returned minister, following Prime Minister Andrew Holness's cabinet shuffle, having to deal with long-standing challenges and ones which emerge daily, is one challenge that Williams is devoted to stay on top of. The good news is being a minister, she said, is that I live in my constituency, so it's very easy to move around and I have a very compact constituency as opposed to some out in rural Jamaica. So I could circulate in my constitution within a day and touch every single community. I still try to do that on a weekly basis. I am still hands-on with all my projects, for example, the road patching. I know all the issues within the communities. I am in several WhatsApp groups with members of the communities where they raise their issues or concerns, whether it's garbage collection, street lights, road work, bushing, issues on crime, and so on. So, I am active in these WhatsApp groups that I will jump on the issues that surface, and I drive around and see things as well. I don't have to wait to be called about things, she stated, generally setting aside Thursday, in addition to weekends, to make her physical presence felt in St. Andrew Eastern, a constituency in which she is into her second term as Member of Parliament. With a deep brief in fitness, sometimes slated deadlines are missed, she indicated, due to heavy workload at the ministry, but she insists that she must keep up with the pace, maintain a balanced diet, and equally as important, get adequate sleep, though it is not always practical to maintain the hours in bed that health professionals often suggest is desirable. Mico alumna honors 99-year-old member at 100th anniversary service. The Mico University College Alumni Association, MOSA, Sunday honored 99-year-old member Roxy Stevenson at its 100th anniversary service. Stevenson, a dedicated teacher for most of her life, spent the last 15 years of her career as principal at North Street Primary School in Kingston. Currently residing in St. Thomas and dubbed the oldest living Micronian, Stevenson will be 100 years old come October. MOSA President Dr. Thomas congratulated Stevenson and presented her with a basket, compliments of Pioneers Manufacturing Distributors, owned by Micronian, and another sponsored by MOSA. Additionally, as part of Sunday's celebration, a time capsule was loaded with memorabilia donation from the different chapters locally and internationally. This set to be opened in 50 years. However, for MOSA, the celebration is a year-long one, as it will undertake various projects that will benefit the institution. Speaking with reporters on Sunday's launch of the 100th anniversary celebration, MOSA's public relations spokesman, Mr. DaCosta, said he hopes students understand the importance of giving back to the college. In a lifetime, not everyone gets to celebrate 100 years, and so we see this as an important factor in our own development and organization, said DaCosta, who noted that the college is one of 4 teaching colleges established in British colonies by the Lady Mico Charity in 1836. The Mico University College is the only one remaining, he said. DaCosta added that events throughout the year will include the MOSA Week starting February 13, MOSA's Evening of Musical Excellence on May 28, an International Education Symposium on August 11, and MOSA's Gold Medal Awards Banquet on October 26. We will continue with our scholarship programs, and we will continue with the development of smart classrooms. Even before we knew of the pandemic, we had started a smart classroom, said DaCosta. DaCosta added that the association will also assist in the development of the college track and field area. At the same time, immediate past president of MOSA, Dr. Henry, disclosed that the offices will also be refurbished. She said that for MOSA Week, the Education Committee will be having a scholarship awards ceremony. There's a big activity, which is the Thursday. The purpose of it is to bring Micronians from all over together and also to focus on student development. It is the panel discussion, and the theme for that is Life After Mico, and it really focuses on student development. For the panel discussions, we are going to have 4 persons, 2 from the diaspora and 2 locally. Henry continued, adding that they will also be launching 2 new association chapters, one in the United Kingdom and the other in the northeast section of Jamaica. Meanwhile, in his address at the launch of the 100th celebration, Thomas said, "As I stand to launch the celebration of this body, we must recognize the outstanding work of our alma mater from humble beginning in 1836 to now a university college with institutional accreditation and graduating bachelor's and master's students in many disciplines." He added, "Mico University continues to inspire students, staff and teachers who want to learn, collaborate, and to serve to the best of their abilities." MOSA, since 1922, contributed well to the development of the Mico University College. Many of our past students have gone back to enhance teaching and learning at Mico, serving as principals, presidents, vice presidents, lecturers, heads of departments, and in other areas. Acknowledging the association will be awarding 25 scholarships to needy students, Thomas noted that they are intended to break ground this year to construct a multipurpose building. This building will be used for teaching and learning, especially a place where Micronians can come for all walks of life to relax and to refresh themselves. In 2021, during this pandemic period, we have given over 3 million in care packages, computers, tablets, and scholarships to needy students, he stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.